My decision not to attend Blerdcon 2021 is now definitive. It's now definitive because they've imposed a vaccine mandate very recently, a few days ago, along with hygiene fear they're implementing, rendering the convention an unfun, miserable experience for me and everyone else. I cannot, in any conscience, or in my principles, support or attend or cover this convention at all until these restrictions are dropped entirely. I've already made my stance very clear with these hygiene fear and vaccine mandates. On April 4th, 2021, I made that stance very clear. Vaccine mandates, proof of vaccination, and testing on condition on any convention or vaccine passports is really a bad idea. The Ministry of Otaku is opposed to them because they're discriminatory for people who cannot take the vaccine for medical or disability reasons. They're clearly exclusionary for those who want to wait until the vaccine is fully approved. And finally, it's a form of hygiene fear on top of all of the COVID-safe measures the conventions will do to please attendees or Corona Bros that are so hysterical about Corona-chan that they have no plans of attending, even if themselves are vaccinated. Rather, the requirement to take a vaccine is pointless because the con will be no fun to attend with all this hygiene fear they're going overboard with. I have no objection to Blerdcon or any other convention encouraging con-goers to consider taking a vaccine before attending if they want to or choose to. And since the vaccines are widely available now, there's no need for a mandate. A mandate is basically moot, and any hygiene fear is pointless at this point. And I've insisted that conventions are better off doing educational measures for actual health and safety of con-goers because people have been inside their homes for so long that their social skills have been atrophied and their immune systems have been compromised for being inside for days and months at a time. And now, a few days later, on April 8th, 2021, Blerdcon announced in a guest announcement that they'll be subject to hygiene fear, enhanced cleaning procedures, outdoor events, mask mandates, social distancing bullshit. In hindsight, I have no objection to outdoors events because people need to be outside in the fresh air more often after LARPing in a zombie apocalypse. Then what I heard from on 21st of April 21st, 2021, they announced a totally unnecessary vaccine mandate for everyone, staff, volunteers, attendees. When vaccines are here in the convention during the summer, COVID will be gone completely by then. This mandate, in my opinion, is unlawful because it provides zero exceptions for medical and disability reasons on the Americans with Disabilities Act. Worse, even if you do have the vaccine, you will be still required to follow all these hygiene fear, masking and such, making a vaccine pointless. And these proofs of vaccinations can be faked or forged, and there's no central verification. And as I said, I'm very opposed to vaccine passports. Completely and utterly opposed to them. If anime conventions or other conventions really want to be safe, why can't we impose a vaccine mandate for people attending the con? Get them to acquire proof of vaccination against HPV, hepatitis A, and hepatitis B. Because there have been so many stories of anime cons having hotel room orgies by attendees, not from the convention, but by the attendees themselves in private hotel rooms, spreading sexually transmitted diseases. It's only fair, right? But no, that would be too much work, and that would be actually involving actual health and safety. It involve having people talking about safe sex, or safer sex. Which begs the question, what is the point of these vaccine mandates? What is the point of the vaccine if you're still imposing hygiene fear? Since most people will not give you an answer, I'll give you one. Virtue signaling. making us feel good and virtue signaling towards the hungry media needing an excuse for a hit piece, and virtue signaling to corner bros and corner chants that have no real plans of attending any convention, so they won't be cancelled on Twitter. And these same corner bros and corner chants have been virtue signaling and bragging over the vaccines on Facebook and Twitter so much. At the same time, they won't be going back to normal or haven't decided to go back to normal until 2022. Even then, they're just going to find an excuse not to attend. The worst thing is that it's not going to be a convention experience at all. It's not going to be a best convention experience. There won't be any making up of lost time or days due to these cancellations due to government lockdowns. It's going to be a stripped down, panels only, and vendor hall. Basically a glorified vendor hall. That's it. No dances, no arcades, no fun events. You're not going to see the same experience of Blerdcon 2019, where you got a live DJ and an arcade basically in the same room. Basically a 24-hour dance party and arcade. Basically a dystopian version of an anime con. Basically for Blerdcon, there won't be a central dance area for DJ. There won't be any arcade cabinets or video games available. Not the usual trappings of an anime con. Because this day and age, the usual trappings of an anime con is not going to be enough. Anime conventions need to stand out. Each one. In order to attract con goers nowadays. Because it's been, 12 to 15 months since a normal anime convention that is going on. It's just going to be a boring panel fest. Just like Anime Dallas did in 2020 in Texas, and it did not stop the Corona Bros from canceling the con in retaliation. And I mean canceling a con, I mean canceling their reputation, and actually sending journal hounds from the Anime News Network to do a hit piece. Just like Anime St. Louis is having right now. No arcades, no dance parties, no fun events, just a panel track in a dealer's room. That's it, and having hygiene fever up the wazoo. It's not fun, and they're basically pretending to LARP like they're in a pandemic, despite vaccines readily available. They still think the elderly person will just walk into a con, when in reality the elderly and high risk are most part in self-isolation. There's a reason why I did not buy a badge for 2020 or 2021 out of blind optimism. Crap like this. Now I have attended Blerdcon in 2019 and 2017, and it was a fun hangout convention, even though it was woke. And with all these mandates, I'm not going to enjoy Blerdcon no matter how many guests they attend. The worst thing is that there's no pushback, and it seems like everyone on Facebook and Twitter wants this. And these same people will come to the convention and then later will complain that it's not fun or not exciting, and they're going to reconsider returning again. And it's going to be a death spiral because no one wants to attend, wants to hear the stories how boring it was. And a growing amount of conventions are demanding vaccine proofs while going overboard on hygiene fear. As I mentioned in my previous reports, Gen Con and Connecticut are doing the vaccine proofs and hygiene fear. And with no plans or special events to make up for lost time and lost days. They are just going in on safetyism. What consumers are going to do like me is either ask for a refund or not to attend until they reverse course. This mentality will not stop until these con organizers find out they're losing money, and it's the only way they understand. It's also rumored that Anime Weekend in Atlanta is not even mandated one, but if any staff finds out that attendee or a volunteer or a guest lying about getting a vaccine or admitting that they have not taken a vaccine, they will pull your badge almost immediately. This will get an incentive for people to either get people to lie to them and then pull them out of cons through cancel culture. And since cancel culture has been normalized by the lockdowns, with everyone trapped at home and some of them becoming Twitter weirdos, tweeting all day, this will change the convention scene forever. No one is allowed to be open. You have to say the right thing to these people in one ward or one event they mentioned, and their con queer or their con cultural scene or their convention days are over, which is much worse as it creates a culture of fear and suspicion. I cannot in any way support or attend these conventions as a convention goer or as an autographer. If I have the money right now, I will give these people money to cancel these cons until 2022. Or me, even better, hold a convention in a state that has the least lockdown restrictions. People like me are fed up with online cons, and most of them, like me, didn't bother attending the online cons since June of last year. And most of these people are hungry for normalcy, for an escape from this hellscape, this dystopian hellscape, this constant reminder about being in a pandemic with vaccines widely available. With these hygiene fear and mandates of vaccine proof, people will be forced to reconsider even going to their routine conventions near their home state. It's getting to a point where people like me are considering spending another year of no conventions, or take the plunge and travel to a state with conventions that are willing to go back to normal as much as possible. Honestly, in Texas, in Florida, or God forbid, South Dakota. Those states are wide open right now. No one should attend these stripped-down events, these stripped-down vaccine hygiene mandate events, until they are willing to go back to normal. No vaccine mandates, no hygiene fear. I have no objection to outdoor events or slightly heightened hygiene measures, like slightly cleaning controllers, game controllers, or arcade machines once an hour or so, or even educating people for 15 minutes or even a whole panel on convention health and safety beyond the 6-to-1 rule. It's more cheaper and much less expensive than having less attendees that will have zero interest to getting a vaccine, or even if vaccinated, attending a convention because of unnecessary hygiene fear. The anime convention scene has been decimated by the government lockdowns, and vaccine mandates, hygiene fear, and virtue signaling will kill it off entirely, and then the effects will be irreversible. This can all be prevented, but it's clear that convention organizers are willing to bury themselves in virtue at everyone else's expense. Of course, if Blerdcon or any other convention decides to reverse course and go completely back to normal, I will reverse my decision. Now I'll make a follow-up report on this. This is JK from the Ministry of Otaku signing off. Thanks for watching.